Good morning, students. So we were reading about Mowgli, the title Mowgli in Trouble, which is taken from Rudyard Kipling's famous novel, The Jungle Book. And we were reading about Mowgli, a mere boy who was stuck in the jungle, left alone, deserted, and how he managed to survive. How the jungle people, the animals, were amicable to him, how they gave him shelter and all other things that a boy needs. So we read up to the part when Mowgli was kidnapped by the Bandar means the monkey, the troop of monkeys, because they were envious. And not only that, they wanted to include Mowgli in their group in order to show it to others, flaunt it to them, the other animals, that we have Mowgli. Let's see how the people, the jungle people who gave shelter, who trained Mowgli, and who brought Mowgli up like their own cubs, how they managed that situation, how they rescue Mowgli from the clutches of those naughty monkeys. The next thing Mowgli remembered was feeling hands on his legs and arms, hard, strong, little hands. Then some branches swished in his face, means he was being taken from one tree to another tree, from one branch to another branch. Those monkeys, they were carrying Mowgli from one tree to another tree. Then some branches swished in his face. Baloo immediately opened the jungle with his deep cries. The moment Baloo got wind of the fact that already Mowgli is being kidnapped by the monkeys, he waked the whole jungle. Means he raised a huge hue and cry in order to wake the people, aware that all other animals, that someone from us is being kidnapped by the monkey people. Something wrong is going on. The monkeys were taking Mowgli away. Bagheera growled and tried to run up the tree trunk. Trunk means those branches, huge branches. He tried to chase the monkey people, but it was of no use, because you know the way monkeys, they are arboreal creatures, means those creatures who live in the trees. So it is easier for them to run from one branch to another branch than for Bagheera, these people who are not usually arboreal. Bounding and crashing and whooping and yelling, the whole tribe of Bandar swept along the trees with Mowgli as their prisoner. So they captivated him. They made Mowgli their prisoner. Mowgli realized that it was useless to look down, for he could only see the top of the branches. See how frightening it is. So he stared upward and saw Ran the kite flying in the blue sky. So Ran was the name of the kite. He was flying in the blue sky and he was witnessing the whole episode of kidnapping. So it struck in Mowgli's head. He had that idea that I can find some help from that cow. So now let's see what happens after that. So he decided to cry out to Ran for help, because he was their only one who could help Mowgli somehow. Oh brother Ran, observe where they are taking me. So he is requesting Ran the kite to keep a notice, to track him where these Bandar were taking him, so that this kite can inform Baloo and Bagheera and all other people who used to love Mowgli, who used to care Mowgli. Tell Baloo and Bagheera where they are taking me. Ran nodded and observed the path of the Bandar. After a few minutes, he flew away in search of Baloo and Bagheera. So when Ran was sure that the Bandar had captivated Mowgli in a certain place, then he flew back to Bagheera and Mowgli to inform the matter. After a few minutes, he flew away in search of Baloo and Bagheera. Meantime, Baloo and Bagheera were furious with rage and grief. Yes, Mowgli was so dear to them, And Bandar Log, the thing they did was beyond description. This is out and out illegal thing to do in a jungle. Meantime, Balu and Bagheera were furious with rage and grief. How could the monkeys snatch their dear Mowgli from right under their noses? They needed a plan to get Mowgli back. You can't achieve anything without a proper plan. Balu thought hard and then said, the Bandar fear Ka, the rock python, yes. So they needed someone who could help them, who could frighten those Bandar so that they compelled to hand over Mowgli to them. So then it occurred in their mind that Ka, the python, this is something which the Bandar are scared of. So we need his help. He ran climb as well as they can, yes. He stills the young monkeys in the night. They are afraid to even whisper his name. Let us go to Ka for help. We will promise him food in return. Yes, of course. So they decided that we would go to Ka. We would promise him that we are going to offer you some food in return for the service. What is the service? That please help us rescuing Mowgli from the clutches of the Bandar. When they found Ka, he was stretched out and licking his lips as he thought of his dinner to come. Yes. Good hunting, greeted Balu. All creatures in the jungle greeted each other thus. So that is how all the creatures, they greet. Whenever they meet first, they greet them telling good hunting. All creatures in jungle greet each other thus. Good hunting for us all, Ka answered. Balu, what are you doing in this part of the jungle? So Ka was astonished, a little bit puzzled to find Balu and Bagheera roaming around the part of the jungle where they seldom comes. That's why he was asking them, what are you doing there? It is the Bandar that we follow. So actually Ka, we were following Bandar and then we lost their track. Now we have come here to help, to ask for help from you. Those nut stealers and pickers of palm leaves have stolen away Mowgli. Help us get our friend back, said Bagheera, and we will repay you this favor. Even as he spoke, they heard the flutterings of wind. So right then when they were discussing about the plan, they were asking help from the Ka, the python. Right then that ran the kite, who knew where the Bandar had taken Mowgli, where they had kept Mowgli captivated. He reached there to inform them about Mowgli. Ran the kite landed beside them and said, I have seen Mowgli among the Bandar. He asked me to tell you, the Bandar have taken him to beyond the river to the cold layers. There is a particular place beyond a certain river, which is very far. The name of that place is called Layers. And there the Bandar had kept Mowgli confined, captivated, imprisoned. Thank you, Ran, said Bagheera. I will remember you and repay this debt. Having delivered this message faithfully, Ran the kite flew away as swiftly as he had come. So you know the kites are very swift. So he just reached there, delivered the message, and then he flew back. His duty was performed. So, Balu and Bagheera looked at each other with concern. The cold Layers was an old deserted city, lost and buried in the jungle. Means deep down in the jungle. There, amid the dense forests, there lies a particular place we call cold Layers. This is a place which is long deserted by people. Probably there was a building there which was used for some ancient people, and now it is deserted. Monkey they have captured that place and it is under their control. That is why they are keeping Mowgli confined there where they have their own control. It is cold Layers. This is the very home and the very den of these ferocious monkeys. It is half a night's journey if I go at full speed, said Bagheera, which means you know what is the full speed of tiger like Bagheera. And even if he runs at his full speed, it would take half a night journey to reach Cold Lair, which means this is very, very, very far away from where they are discussing about how to rescue me. I am quicker than you, let me hurry, and you may follow me, Balu. Yes, you know that a tiger is quicker than that of a bear. So he said that I will go ahead, you just follow my track. Balu nodded. He knew that he could not run as fast as Bagheera could. Bagheera hurried forward. Kaa, the huge rock python, went away with him, saying, I will reach those monkeys, I will teach those monkeys a lesson. So now Kaa is also annoyed, angry, furious to know that someone is breaking the law of the jungle. So though there is a food chain in between these animals, still they follow one thing, that is the law of the jungle. You can't just snatch someone else's things. They follow the same thing, and that is why all the jungle people, they are gathering against those monkey people. In the cold lairs, the monkey people were very pleased with themselves. They joined hands and danced about. Suppose they presumed that taking Mowgli away from Bagheera and Balu is something which we are proud of. This is our achievement. We have done something that will be written in gold letters. They were thinking like the same way. They sang their foolish songs. One of the monkeys made a speech and told his companions that Mowgli's capture marked a new thing in the history of the Mandarlok I told you. He said that Mowgli would show them how to weave sticks and canes together as protection against the rain and cold. So Mowgli picked up some creepers and began to walk them in and out. Some of the monkeys tried to imitate Mowgli, but soon they lost interest and began to pull their friend's tail or jump up and down all on fours. Yes, that's what they were doing. So now, these Bandar people, they thought that they could learn all the tricks, all the maneuvers in which Mowgli was adept. But they were fooled. That is the way, and that is the reason they could not go far. They kept there within their limit. That is why they are snatching other things which they cannot do. So when people snatch something, the thing that they cannot earn, remember this. If you are snatching, means it is your incapacity that you cannot build it, you cannot earn it, you cannot buy it. So that's what the monkey people are doing, and that is why this is not in their DNA that they can wait, have patience, and learn some things from Mowgli. Had they learned all those things, they would not have captured Mowgli. They would not have kidnapped Mowgli. Remember these things. So their tribe would always be silly and foolish, Mowgli thought. Mowgli saw that they were not really interested in learning anything. Their tribe would always be silly and foolish. That's what his decision was. He thought that however hard I try to teach them something, they are not that type of people who will learn. So while the Bandar screeched and made mischief, they were making sound at their high pitch. They were doing mischiefs, pulling each other's leg, each other's tail. They were fighting. All these kind of things they were doing. Sometimes you do the same thing in the school. Bagheera and Kaa reached the cold lairs. They observed the cows from afar. So now it is Bagheera and Kaa, they have reached here. From afar, from their vantage point, hiding place, they are watching everything, what is going on. They are making a perfect plan how to rescue Mowgli. So already they have reached. This is another turning point in this story. First turning point was when Mowgli was kidnapped. Now Bagheera and all other people, they have reached there in order to rescue their dear Mowgli. So next day we will learn and we will see how they rescue Mowgli. Till then, that's all for today. Let's call it a day.